Today I'm going to be watching this video. It's called 40 must-see Canadian television shows. Now, of course, I've made reactions to Canadian TV shows like SCTV, Red Green Show. Really enjoyed them, very funny. I wanted to watch this to get some ideas of other shows I should make reactions to. Tell me your favourite show from Canada. I've seen people mention in the comments shows like Letterkenny, Trailer Park Boys. Tell me how good they are, tell me more about them. And yeah, let's see them 40 must-see Canadian television shows. Tell me if there's anything else, any other shows that are not on this list that should be. Let's watch. Da Vinci's Inquest, a crime drama series, follows the work and personal life of a coroner in Vancouver, British Columbia. Okay, never heard of it. Sounds interesting. Being Human, a supernatural drama about three 20-something roommates, a vampire, werewolf and a ghost trying to live normal lives. That sounds very interesting. Kenny versus Spenny. I remember this show. I used to watch this when I was at university. This was on TV in the UK. I remember these two guys do challenges against each other. Like, I don't know if this is like who can put up with the most pain. A reality competition series featuring two friends, Kenny and Spenny, who engage in various outrageous challenges. Yeah, it was a mental show. Me and my friends used to like sit and watch it in my house. Very funny. There was a British version called Ed versus Spencer, I believe. Just basically a rip-off of this one. I didn't realise it went on for 8 years. Tell me if you watched this, what you think about it. Very, very funny show, man. I mean, definitely when I was younger, I loved it. Anne of Green Gables, the sequel, a television series, mini-series, continuation of the classic Anne of Green Gables story. Okay, 1987 that was. 1902, a police drama series about two mismatched officers in the Montreal Police Department dealing with crime and personal challenges. Okay. Cardinal, a crime drama series following the detective John Cardinal as he investigates homicides in the fictional town of Algonquin Bay. So, I can only see from this image and the synopsis here. One of my favourite types of shows these days is like detective shows. I love Scandinavian drama, Scandi noir, Norway, Finland, all these, Denmark, all these places. Some great detective shows. The thing that I like about them is usually the cinematography is obviously that beautiful Scandinavian landscapes. Canada is ripe for that type of show, definitely. The more in the wilderness, the small towns, get some beautiful drone shots and things like that, but you could get some great stories as well. I guess this must be one of those. Tell me if you've seen this before. Tell me if there's any other good detective shows. Vikings. Vikings is from Canada. I had no idea. I've never seen it, but I know it was one of like the biggest TV shows at the time when it was on. Historical drama series exploring the legendary Viking chieftain Ragnar Lothbrok and his descendants' adventures. Yeah, obviously this was huge. I think it was on Netflix. Never knew it was a Canadian TV show. Dragon's Den. Yeah, I know what Dragon's Den is, but I never knew that again was from Canada. We have our own version in the UK as well, and it's hugely popular. Yeah, here 2006, so it's been going on almost 20 years. Probably similar in the UK as well, but I guess it must have originated in Canada. I've not seen it for years now, honestly. Dark Matter, a science fiction series about a group of amnesiac space travellers who wake up on a spaceship and must uncover their identities and pasts. Sounds interesting. The Next Step, a teen drama series centred around the lives and aspirations of dancers in a competitive dance studio. Okay. The Border, a drama series focused on the activities of an elite team of Canadian immigration and customs officers. Yeah, that one sounds right up my street as well. Motive, a police procedural series that begins by revealing the killer and victim and then explores the motives and circumstances leading up to that. Okay. Saving Hope, a medical drama about doctors and staff at a Toronto hospital with a supernatural element involving a comatose doctor who can wander the hospital in spirit form. Okay, Mr. D, a sitcom about a laid-back and often inappropriate high school teacher navigating the challenges of teaching. Sounds fun, sounds like it could be quite relatable. Street Legal, what's this? 1987 to 1994 and 2019 to 2020. So must have came back for like a reboot, a legal drama following the lives of lawyers in a Toronto law firm dealing with both professional and personal challenges. Maybe this is where, what was that American show, Ally McBeal? Maybe that got its idea from this show. I guess this is the modern iteration of it. Tell me if you watched that before, back in the 80s and 90s. Continuum, a science fiction series about a police officer from the future who gets transported back in time and must navigate a complex web of time travel conflicts. The Listener, a supernatural crime drama about a paramedic with the ability to read minds and his involvement in solving crimes. A lot of interesting shows here actually. I've heard of Rookie Blue actually. A police drama centred around rookie officers navigating the challenges of their first years on the force. So there seems to be a wide range of time periods as well, a lot of more recent ones. This one I've definitely heard of. Some of the other ones I've not heard of, but the synopsis and information about the shows sound quite interesting actually. The Magic School Bus. I used to watch The Magic School Bus when I was a child. Didn't know it was Canadian. But again, I actually let my son, who's 3 years old, I let him watch that a couple months ago. It's very educational. It's actually a really good, very well produced television show for children. I know Paw Patrol is another one of his favourites. I believe that's from Canada as well. Tell me more about kids shows from Canada. What's the best? Kids in the Hall, yeah, I've made a reaction to a couple of their scenes before. Really good. Sketch comedy series featuring a troupe of 5 comedians known for their surreal and often absurd humour. That's a good description. Really good stuff. Like the guy who squeezes the heads. Being Erica, a dramedy about a woman who gains the ability to travel back in time to revisit and change pivotal moments in her life. Okay. Little Mosque on the Prairie. I mean, that's just an interesting name for a show. A sitcom about a Muslim community in a small Canadian town, exploring cultural clashes and understanding. That could be an interesting concept for a show. The name itself, I mean, that is just... that's a bit mad. Little Mosque on the Prairie. I'm sure that was funny. Here is The Red Green Show, comedic variety show hosted by the character Red Green, known for its DIY humour and sketches. Ran for 15 years. Republic of Doyle, a comedic crime drama series about a father-son private investigator duo solving cases in Newfoundland. The name Doyle does sound kind of Irish as well actually. Heartland, a family drama set in a ranch in Alberta following the lives of the Bartlett Fleming family and their work with horses. Lost Girl, a supernatural drama about a succubus, I don't know what that is, named Bo, navigating the hidden world of fey creatures and dealing with her own identity. I have no idea what that was. Okay, here we go. Letterkenny, a comedy series set in a rural Canadian town following the lives of the quirky inhabitants, particularly focused on the witty banter. This has been recommended to me quite a lot. Tell me more about it. It does sound like it could be quite funny. Definitely is a comedy. I love Canadian comedy from what I've seen so far. Tell me more about Letterkenny. Do you watch it? Still going actually. 2016 until present. Flashpoint, a police procedural series focusing on an elite tactical unit in Toronto dealing with high stakes situations. A lot of police dramas. Kim's Convenience I've heard of actually, a sitcom about a Korean Canadian family who run a convenience store in Toronto exploring their relationships and cultural clashes. Murder Mysteries, a period drama set in the late 19th and 20th centuries following Detective William Murdoch as he solves crimes using innovative forensic techniques. Okay, Slings and Arrows. Is that Rachel McAdams? Okay, this is 2003 to 2006, so it must have been one of her first shows. A dramedy series set in a fictional Shakespearean theatre company dealing with the challenges of putting on productions. That does sound quite interesting, quite fun actually. Due South. I have not thought about this show probably since it was on. My mum and dad used to watch this when I was a child, and I used to watch this as well. I think it was on a Saturday night in the UK, something like that. I remember just lying down, eating dinner, watching this. Yeah, he was the Mountie. We see let me see, a crime drama with comedic elements following the adventures of a Canadian Mountie and his American partner solving crimes in Chicago. I think the guy I remember, I think they changed character. There was another guy who was in this position as the sort of other police officer here. Maybe there was two actors. Yeah, man, this guy's face. I remember this show. That was actually a good show from what I remember. Which is quite little considering I was very young. Schitt's Creek, yeah, this one again is, I feel like is very highly rated. I think this is Catherine O'Hara. A comedy series about a wealthy family who lose their fortune and are forced to live in a small town, learning to adjust to their new circumstances. So, yeah, tell me more about that. I think that won a lot of awards. I've just never got around to watching it. Do you recommend watching that? Anne with an E, a reimagining of the classic novel Anne of Green Gables again, following the adventures of an orphan girl, Anne Shirley, in the late 19th century. Orphan Black, a science fiction thriller about a woman who discovers she is one of many clones and gets drawn into a conspiracy involving genetic experiments. Okay, there we go as well. Trailer Park Boys. I didn't realise it was on for 17 years. A mockumentary style comedy about the misadventures of residents in a fictional trailer park in Nova Scotia. Okay, I never knew it was set in Nova Scotia either. Recognise this guy's face from memes. But yeah, tell me more about that show. How good was that? I love mockumentary style things like The Office and so on, so that does sound like it could be the corner gas. I remember people mentioning this as well. A sitcom set in the fictional town of Dog River, Saskatchewan, centred around the quirky residents and the local gas station. That does sound also like it could be good. Another sitcom. So Canada not only has a lot of good police procedurals and detective shows, a lot of sitcoms. Tell me more about Corner Gas. The Beachcombers. 1972 to 1990, a long-running series set in a fictional coastal town in British Columbia, focusing on the adventures of log salvagers and their interactions with the community. 18 years that was going for. Definitely people watching this video must have seen this before. That seems like it must be like a historic show being on for so long. Finished in 1990, but okay, so this is the last one. Degrassi Junior High, 1987 to 1989, a teen drama series that follows the lives of students at Degrassi Junior High School, dealing with various issues like friendship, relationships, and growing up. Okay, man, that sounds pretty cool. A great list of shows, 40 very different shows there. Got a huge variety of different things there. A lot of comedy. Definitely recommend some of the comedy shows and tell me what you think about them. What's the best one from Canada? But again, just like music and the actors and actresses from Canada, seems like there's just an absolutely huge amount of great TV shows from there as well. Tell me your favourite from all of these. Thanks.